Hi, so welcome back on the Mortier channel. So today on the channel I wanted to say something before we get in the topic. I want to say thank you for the new people who subscribe to the channel, and thank you for the people that been here through it all. Even when I wasn't posted, y'all stayed and stuff like that, you supported your girl. And yeah, I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for all the stuff, all the support, everything, all of it. And I want to show y'all something before we get into the topic. Let me show you. I'll get that later. I graduated. As y'all may remember, I was in my senior year of high school this year. So, yeah. Here's my diploma. Ding ding ding. So, yeah. Legitimately, I'm looking like, oh my god. It was amazing. I gotta show y'all the thing that's behind the camera, too. This right here, I put it on my wall, but this is like the picket thing that you stick in the grass. But I had put maps on the wall and stuff like that, so it could always be right here. To make this video to help people, if anybody out here in this world getting verbally abused by anyone, by a boyfriend, or just anybody, if this video can help, then I'm grateful for it to help. So I thought to tell my story. So I was in this relationship with this boy, Amarion. And we had got together in October. So I remember we was talking over Messenger. He was asking me about my tattoos, since y'all know I got 3. I told him about this one. I was like, this is my dad's name. I told him, I was like, my dad died and stuff like that. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, just let your dad rest. And when he said that to me, it felt like if he was just saying, okay, shut up, let's get to the next topic. And I had told him, I was like, why would you just say that? Why would you just, why? That's my dad. I could talk about my dad because that's my father who died. It's not your father. And I had told him that. And he was like, I'm sorry and stuff like that. He was like, I just don't like talking about death because, excuse me, because my grandmother passed. And, he said, he was like, I had so much anger in me about when she died and stuff like that, and I never let it out. And he was like, I'm sorry for letting it out on you and stuff like that. That wasn't right, And yeah. He saw that wasn't right. And I'm looking like, he had said sorry and all that, but I was like, uh-huh. I got just this moment. I was still mad about it that he had just said, let my dad rest moment, and it wasn't his dad. I was mad about that. Because that wasn't right. That didn't sit right with me that he said that. And going on to the next moment, we went to school, we saw each other, he was trying to talk to me. I was like, nah, just leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. No. So this would, okay. So over this happened in October, okay. So after that moment, strike came, right? And over strike, when it was strike and stuff like that, me and him was talking over the phone. And we was talking over the phone, and he had said to me, he was like, you probably got a sexual disease. And I'm looking when he said that, I'm looking what? What did you just say? He was like, you probably got a sexual disease. He was like, you never know. He was like, I'm a virgin and all that. He was like, I don't got nothing. I'm looking why would you just sit here and say, why would you just sit here and say that I have a sexual disease? He said I had a sexual disease twice before. He said it one time, that time over the phone. He said one time in my face. I'm going to tell y'all about the time in my face, though. But he said it to me over the phone. I told him, I was like, do never say that to me ever again. I told him over the phone, I was like, do not say that to me. I told him, I was like, I don't have nothing. Why is you legitimately saying that to me? That's so disrespectful. I was letting him know, I'm not playing. And he on the phone laughing. He laughing. He I'm like, why is you laughing about that? That's not funny. That's not funny. For you to say that somebody has a sexual disease and it's a girl, to us girls, when you say that to us, that's so disrespectful. That's just, that hits home. I'm telling you, it hits home. If you say that to any woman, they will tell you that it hit home. Because that's disrespectful. That ain't right. And legitimately, he go sit there and laugh, and he was like, I'm sorry. And I could tell in his voice that he wasn't sorry. He wasn't. That was the second time he did something. Legitimately. And I could tell in his voice he wasn't sorry and stuff like that. Because I'm sorry, this, that. I can tell he wasn't sorry. I'm whatever. I'm I know you ain't sorry because you was legitimately you sitting there over there laughing. It's not funny. It's a serious moment. Why did you just say that? I told him, I was like, what happened if I said that about you, right? I wasn't feeling that moment. I wasn't with that. And then over the whole, what did I say it was? The strike. I had lost weight. I noticed I lost weight and stuff like that. When I went out of town and came back from Ohio and stuff like that, I noticed I lost weight. I'm looking like, man, I lost weight. I'm looking like, wow. I wasn't even trying. Like, I was not working out or nothing like that. Like, I noticed I lost weight. And legitimately, I'm looking like, okay, I already know why it is. It's because I'm stressed. I'm stressed because of this relationship. So I basically lost weight because the relationship was stressing me out and stuff. And I remember when school had opened back up after strike and stuff like that, my friends, even they noticed I lost weight. I'm looking like, yeah, y'all lost weight. You know, they said something about it. And I'm looking like I already know why I lost the weight and stuff like that. So skipping forward and stuff like that, like it kept happening with me and him and stuff like that. The arguments kept happening. Legitimately, he would like yell at me about something that happened to him in the past, and legitimately I'd be like, why is you yelling? Sorry, I can't speak. I'd be like, legitimately, why are you yelling at me about something that happened to you in the past? I wasn't there. Like, why did you sit here and try to blame me for it? Like, why are you trying to yell at me or bring your anger on me? Like, if I'm basically like a doormat or I'm basically a squeeze toy for your anger, that's not okay. And I let him know that. And legitimately, he couldn't do nothing but just look like this. He was like, just stare down, be like, like he see what he doing is bad. I'm like, what's up with you? Like, I feel like if I'm having to raise a kid in this relationship and I'm not a mother, this is not my child. I'm looking like, what's up with you? Like, I could see like I remember him telling me like, he was like, crazy stuff happened to him in his past, crazy stuff be happening at home. But that doesn't mean that you can bring it off on me and legitimately go off on me like if I caused it when I know I didn't cause it. So why is you yelling at me? Like, why is you bring your attitude off on me or your anger off on me? Like, even from the first start where he basically told me about his grandma passing, he brought the anger off on me then. Like, he made it seem like, oh, if I'm supposed to be his squeeze toy, they can squeeze his anger out on. Like, no, I'm not like that. If you going through something bad or hard, we can talk about it if you okay with talking about it. But don't bring your anger off on me because I didn't do nothing. And yeah, so after that, because legitimately we had a lot of arguments where he legitimately tried to bring his anger off on me, and I legitimately put him in the spot. I'm looking like, no, you ain't gonna do that. No. And he kept saying stuff that hit home and stuff like that. And it's like he kind of like mentally broke me. Because I remember he made a joke about my mom dying. And legitimately, when he made that joke about my mom dying, I'm looking like, so you think that's funny? Legitimately, I had went off on him. Like, legitimately, I had said something back to him. I was like, I made a joke about his mom dying. And then he got quiet on the phone. I'm looking like, so why you quiet for? Because you made a joke about my mom dying. And you thought it was okay. And you was laughing. So I'm going to make a joke about your mother dying. Like, it's never okay. For the fact that him basically sitting there on the phone trying to make jokes about my mom dying, that's not okay. That's why I was like in that relationship, he kind of mentally broke me. In that relationship, I was like, legitimately, like right here, like if like, cause I remember the relationship, cause I used to like have like my head was hurting sometimes in that relationship. Like, I feel like he mentally broke me. Like, I feel like the part of me was gone and died. Some other stuff. Like, legitimately, I remember I told him, I was like, I don't play with that. I told him, I was like, never bring up my mother. I told him, I was like, never joke about my mom. Never joke about my dad. Like, I told him, I was like, do not even say their names. Like, don't even do it. Like, I was serious about it. Like, he could hear it in my voice. And he never did after that. And some more stuff. Like, I remember, like, okay, so he was in wrestling. The Marion dude was in wrestling and stuff like that. And I was, like, the wrestling coach. The wrestling manager. And so, we had to stay after school for that. So I remember we was after school. He was like, he said it again. He was like, you got a sexual disease. And I'm legitimately looking at him like, why did you just say that again? Like, he could tell from my face that I was mad when he said that. And I was like, why did you just say that? He was like, I'm just saying. And he had on his face the most serious look, like, like he meant what he said and nothing else to say about it. So we went in the wrestling room. I went to go get my stuff. He came in there to get his stuff too. So legitimately, I was so mad. Like, in my mind, I was thinking about everything, all the other things he said to me, all the other times he legitimately tried to come at me, or all the times he legitimately said things that hit home. And I remember I grabbed his neck, and I put my nails so deep in his neck to the point it was like his neck was bleeding, like right here on this side type of moment. And I remember I had like did like this to put him back on the table and stuff like that. And I had told him, I was like, legitimately, Do not ever say that to me. Do not call me that. Do not say I got a sexual disease because I don't have it. And I told him, I was like, do not say that to me. Do not say that to me. I'm not playing with you. And you could see it in my face that I was so serious and I was so angry because I'm looking like, why did you keep trying to say that to me? Why is you saying that to me? You saying it to me like if I was out there in the streets saying, come on, man, come ravish my body. Or if I got STDs or I got AIDS or I got something like that that's sexually transmitted. I don't have none of that. But the fact of the matter is he said that stuff that hit home and it was so bogus and I was so mad. I'm like, why did you just say that to me? That's so disrespectful to say that to a woman. Like, that's not okay. Like, for real. And legitimately, when I was doing that and I was telling him that, he was like legitimately crying. It's like he was legitimately crying and he just know that he brought this on himself. And I'm looking like, no, I ain't playing that moment. And right after I did that, I kind of just, went home and got on the bus. Because I'm like, no, I'm just pissed. I'm like, I'm mad. For the fact that you mad is you keep saying that to me. And after that day, he never said it again. Because I don't play that. Like, I was like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you keep saying stuff to me that hit home. It's not okay. It's not okay for you to do that. Just because you go through stuff at home and you went through stuff in the past doesn't mean you get to treat people like that. Doesn't mean that you get to treat people like that if they're your punching bag or something like that. It's not okay. That's not okay for a man to do that. And legitimately, he legitimately thought I was supposed to sit there and take it. I'm like, no. Just because I'm quiet, I'm shy. Just because I'm quiet and I'm shy does not mean that I'm going to take everything you're saying to me. I'm never going to take anything nobody say to me. I'm going to always say something back or I'm going to have a reaction. Because at the end of the day, I'm not just going to sit there and take it. I'm going to defend myself like a proud, strong woman. The heck? So, yeah. And I remember, like, in December or something like that. No, wait, not December. We gonna fast forward. No, okay, I'm gonna say the part in December. In December, I remember he said something to me that hit home, and I remember it was on the last day, like the last day basically, like, okay, this is the last day we about to go on winter break. And I remember I was thinking about it so much because it was just so much in my head, like, it just like it was so much in my head to the point like, it's like if it was like a movie, like it was kept playing what he said to me. And I remember I was just so depressed and just so sad what he said to me. Like, it legitimately, it hurted. Everything he's ever said to me hurted like heck. And I remember, like, I just felt like if I wanted to die, or I felt like I didn't want to be on this world no more. And I remember, like, I was thinking about, well, I basically went in the bathroom and I kind of like cut myself on my knee because I was like, because I was feeling like I was just so numb inside and just everything. And I remember I did that, and after I came out the bathroom, I just laid down and like kind of cried myself to sleep. And I was like, I just went to sleep. So basically after that, so I said fast forward, then we back in school moment, right? After the new year. So I remember he lied in my face about something. I told him, I was like, you just do too much. Like, I don't mess with lies. He just lied in my face, like, blank stared me in my face, like, and just sit there and lie. I'm like, why would you sit in my face and lie? And then you gonna come back later and tell me the truth. And he was like, sometimes people just lie and stuff like that. And when he did that, I remember I hit him in the head. I'm looking like I remember I hit him in the head because I was just so angry and stuff like that and just so mad. Because I felt like he put me through hell every day. I feel like if I was drowning every day in that relationship, I feel like if I was drowning, I feel like if I lost myself in that relationship, it was hell every day in that relationship. Every day it was a different type of obstacle of hell. It was just like it was never ending. It was like more, like repeat moment. So yeah, when I did that, I went up to my class and stuff like that. And then I remember, like, the security guard came and got me, he went to the principal and told them, like, he legitimately was in the hallway, had like little outbursts. Because sometimes, like, he'd be extra just to get attention. And then basically he did that, called me down there, they got me down there. And he basically, like, he had embarrassed me. Like, he legitimately had broken with me in front of all of them. And I remember I told him, I was like, after he did that, like, wait, I'm gonna explain it. So he did that, and he was making it seem like if I legitimately am an abuser, like I'd be hitting him every time in this relationship. I'm looking like, legitimately, when he was legitimately standing in front of him, he was like, if you would just hit me. I'm looking like, this is my face. I'm looking like, this man is a whole actor right here, right now. Cause legitimately, I'm looking like, this man said crazy stuff to me, yelled at me about his past. Like, if I caused it, and sitting here blaming me for his past, well, I didn't do nothing in his past. I wasn't even in his past. But he blamed it for me like if I caused. I'm like, oh. And you know, basically, yeah. So he broke up with me in front of them and all that. I'm looking like after all that. Wait, no, wait. I'm gonna go ahead. So he did that, and then we was in a room. They like set us in a room. And they wanted me and him to talk. And he was like, "You hit me this and that." And I told him I was like, "Amarion, you legitimately said stuff to me to hit home almost every day in this relationship. Every day in this relationship, you verbally abused me. You used your words, and you know words carry more than anything on me. You mentally broke me. You increased in my anxiety. You made me have chest pains." I told him I was like legitimately, I was like, you legitimately did all that to me, and you expect me not to sit up here and defend myself when you do all that tough stuff to me, and then you lied in my face too. You expect me not to do something, and you expect me to just be like, oh, it's okay, or oh, it's okay that I'm getting verbally abused and it doesn't matter, I gotta sit there and take it. And legitimately, when I told him that, he couldn't say nothing. He was just sat quiet like that. And you know, the person came in like the dean or something like that, and he was like, he had said to me like after Marion had left out, he was like, he is the victim. I'm looking like, how is he the victim? Like basically, Amarion painted me out to be a whole monster and a monster and an abuser. I'm looking like, how is he the victim? And this boy said something to me, legitimately said something to me to hit home every day. Like basically, the principal didn't even let me explain my side or tell the whole story. Like he just basically just believed him, and that's about it. I'm looking like, oh, okay, moment. Like I basically seen that the school wasn't on my side, that I'm basically always gonna be somebody that looks, I'm gonna always be somebody that everybody thinks that's abuser or a monster, huh? So yeah, basically after that I went back to my class. I had saw Marion in the hallway, and we was talking. I had told him, I was like, why didn't you just, I told him I was like, my class schedule. I'm like, why you just didn't pull me to the side and break up with me like in private? Like why you had to sit there and embarrass me and make it seem like my character is something different, like make it seem like if I'm a monster. He was like, I don't know why I did it. And that's it. After that we didn't say anything else to each other. Like he made it seem like he made my character seem like if I was a monster when I'm not. This man said crazy stuff to me every day we was in that relationship. He verbally abused me. He legitimately mentally broke me. He made me have chest pains. Like that story I was telling you about when I like started having chest pains. He was the person I was meeting up at certain spots and stuff like that. Like he was the person I was dating to meet at the certain spots. Him. He was the reason why I have chest pains. He's the reason why my anxiety increased it to the point where it's like, even like over this whole Corona break moment, sometimes when I fall asleep, I have like crazy dreams about him to the point it makes me anxious. Even if I look in that high school yearbook and I see his face in it, and I see his face in it, I go into an anxiety attack. But I'm the monster, right? A man can sit right, like legitimately. The the dean at the school made it feel like if I'm supposed to just sit down and let this man verbally abuse me, he didn't even let me explain the story. He just made it think, he just assumed that I was a monster without even hearing the full side of my story. You heard his part, why you can't hear my part? But yeah, so yeah, the school wasn't on my side, but it was this teacher that was on my side. It was this social worker that was on my side, and no social worker on my side, and this security guard. And they was like, you didn't deserve it. I'm sorry that happened to you. You deserve better. I wish that never happened to you, moment. Because it was crazy. I felt so alone. I'm looking like a man can legitimately verbally abuse me, and I can't stand up for myself. I can't fight for what's right. I felt so alone. I felt it was so bogus, because at the end of the day, no man should verbally abuse a woman. Nobody should tell you should just sit there and take it. That's not right. You, like, legitimately, you supposed to get up and defend yourself any way possible. If it's with your words or your hands, defend yourself always. Always. So yeah, and just what I want to say is that I am proud of myself for what I did. I stood up for myself. I defended myself. I was getting verbally abused by a whole dude. I'm a woman. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm proud in what I did. I'm proud in what I did. Like, even if I had to use basically I used my hands because I hit him. So I'm proud of myself for defending myself. I'm proud of myself that I was got up and I had the strength to do that. You know, even if I was at my lowest of my moments in my life in that relationship, I legitimately did that. I standed up, I defended myself, I fight it back. I standed up for myself for everything in me. And that's what made me know that I'm strong as ever. All the stuff I ever been through in my life, it shows me that I'm strong. And I will be getting more stronger as life goes on. So yeah, I hope my story helps you. And just to let everybody know that you're not alone. That we all out, that everybody out here in the world is survivors. And I survived it. I survived the verbal abuse. And I'm strong. And I'm powerful. No matter what anybody says. And I'm proud of myself. And yeah, so I hope this story, or me telling my story, helps people out there. Because at the end of the day, verbal abuse is real. And it's important to let people know who go through it, to let them know that it's important what they went through. And let them know that they're a survivor and that they went through something crazy but they got out. And that they stood up and they fight it. And they defended themselves through everything. And I know my true self. I'm not no monster. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Strong, powerful woman. And that's all I ever am. So yeah, so I hope this story helped y'all out. And yeah, that's all I wanted to do, was share my story today. And thank you for watching. I love you all. And thank you for the people that supported me through that hard time and that supports me even now. Thank you. I appreciate it and I love you.